Hey guys, I'm Cheyenne. I'm the owner of LocdNHealing and I'm a master braider and a loctician. I started off doing hair in 2015. I went to cosmetology school in Indiana, so I'm originally from the Midwest. I didn't do hair for a long time and I picked many different journeys to go down, but then once I moved to Texas, I met up with one of my best friends in Atlanta, and she was already braiding hair so well, and she was already known out there. So I started braiding hair here, and I was like, whoa, I'm kind of remembering every single thing that I did in cosmetology school. And she just was like, Cheyenne, if you have the faith, you can do it. You could make it your own business. Like again, I worked so many different careers. I had my CDL, massage therapy license. I was a bartender at big fancy restaurants. So I always had the customer service industry behind me. So I was just like, okay, let me try. And I just fell in love with doing hair. Once I was in cosmetology school, I didn't like working with heat. It would make me really hot. So I was like, I'm done doing hair. I'm not doing this anymore if I have to only work with heat. But I think as industry changes, we master in and dial in on one specific thing. And when I moved to Texas, I was able to just dial in on braiding hair. And who knew that I had such creativity with the scalp? So I would do a lot of freestyles on all my friends' hair. And before I knew it, I was calling in to work saying I can't come to work because I would have clients. And then the pandemic hit. And at that point, I was transitioning to locks. And my sister is like my walking billboard. Her hair is down to so long. So I locked her hair up, and I think during the pandemic, a lot of people were in the house. So the journey with locks is you have to give it a couple months to actually feel good about the locks. That's what they say. But yeah, I think during the COVID, I was actually blessed because my business skyrocketed around that. I worked at a traditional salon. It wasn't a salon, but it was a barbershop. So I worked there, and I am just over having to pay people and for a little space. So I ended up moving to a suite. And I was like, okay, if I could just make this amount of money and add it to my bills, I should be able to have my own little suite. You just got to try it out. And I was blessed before I moved here to Mattison Suite, I was in another suite. And it was just a little smaller, but I was like, well, if I could hold this one down with my bills, let's upgrade a little bit and go to Mattison Suite. Working for myself in a space where no one else is here with me, it's better, and it makes me less overwhelmed because I do get overwhelmed a lot. It lets me have control of my business. It also makes me put down a lot of boundaries in place that I was new to. Some people like to look at your business like it's not a business. So I had to definitely put down my own boundaries because, of course, when I was working at the shop with more people, I was just going with the flow, what they're doing, clients coming in. But now it's like, everything here is mine, so be careful. What do you need? I got you. I got some snacks, hydration. Just sit down. Let's just relax. The barbershops and stuff is always loud and chaotic. So when people see LocdNHealing, they already assume that it's like a healing space and that we're just gonna fix your crown. So I think it gave me more power to control my space. I would recommend if someone is trying to get their own suite to definitely have a clientele, but it doesn't mean you have to be overly booked. You just have to do the math with the suite pricing, and if you have bills, and making sure you can pay it. So I was just, making sure that you can pay is number one, because sometimes as a stylist, we have down moments where we don't have as many clientele, but we still have to pay for our suite. So at that moment, I would just say, run some specials and stuff like that. But I would definitely say, make sure that you have the money to pay for the suite and have the clientele. But I think the overall thing is just having good customer service. Being able to just say when you're wrong in certain situations, being able to be kind. And sometimes people can't pay a full price for their hairstyle, but it's like, okay, well, I know you're gonna come back to me, so let me give you a little discount. You know what I'm saying? Being your true self, because social media fakes the funk with everything, and so it's like, if I want to keep up with the Joneses, I'm gonna be broke. So what you got here right now, this is it. I've had times where I didn't have none of this in here, and my clients still be like, "Girl, come on, you got a TV, just sit me in a chair." So they build with you. So I was just saying, having good customer service and having good clients that come back Yeah, that'd be good. And using good product, of course.
Of course.
Okay, so yeah, like again, product. I believe that product in a beauty supply store is like the bread aisle in the grocery store. They're all the same, but you just might like this one a little bit more. You might have better ingredients in this. This one might have 5 less calories than that one. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it's also the person behind the product. So I use my own hair product. This is a hydrating mist. This everything's natural. So it only has 3 ingredients. So it's tea tree, rose water, and aloe vera. Anything that has your scalp inflamed, or if the sun burned your scalp a little bit and it hurts, this would be a good one. And then our hair serum is really good. It's a lemongrass aroma, and it just helps with growth, and it helps with hydrating your scalp, also hydrating your locks, because locks, of course, is my main thing that I do right now. And with locks, you can get dry locks. You know, the middle of the lock can become a little molded and things like that. So you don't want that to happen. So with this oil, it's really good. It's got grapeseed oil, vitamin E, sweet almond. You know, I just think like owning your own business, you kind of have to have you have to have more things in your business. Like I have merchandise, I have oils, I have sprays. I want to be a one-stop shop. I'm also a barber too. So I want people to come in here, and when they leave, they don't be like, what product do I need? What do I need? What's this? What's that? You know, because my mom, she gets her hair done at a very fancy salon, and they're like, okay, when you leave, you can either get these things out there, or let me give them to you right now. You might pay a little bit more, but you have them on hand. You know, so all of my products, when you get a starter locks, they come with it. So you get the starter package with it. So my vision for LocdNHealing is to get a couple stylists under me who already have their clientele, but just don't want their own space. Because I have friends like that who they have a passion for hair, but they don't want all of this. You know, or they have this and they don't want anything beyond it. So I'm like, let me take that away. You guys work under me. They're good friends, and I have a different vision for myself besides hair, because when people look at me, they only see hair, and they're only like, oh, you're the lock girl, you do this. I'm like, yeah, but I do a lot of things too. I would say with social media, I definitely grew from social media. A lot of people they're either word of mouth, or it came from social media, because again, when my business took off, it was during the pandemic. So nobody could just come up and talk to you. They had to find you on social media. So by 2018, I cut all my prices in half. So anything that I seen somebody else doing, I cut it in half. So if they were charging $300, I'm charging $150. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just growing your business, you can't be scared to lowball yourself for a little bit. I believe that the first year, you're gonna always put more money into your business than you're ever gonna get back. And some money will be wasted, but it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back, you know? I really just post anything organic. So sometimes people are like, why you didn't post me? Why you didn't post me? And I'm like, girl, I just was swiping through my phone. I was like, oh, that's cute. Let me post it. Not even thinking that that picture was like from 2 months ago. You know, so you have to understand that clients will get upset when you don't post their picture, but it's like I need all this to be organic. I need to be real. So many people are paying for followers. You know, I wanted to hit 10K last year, and I still haven't hit it because every person who follows me is a real person. I think just growing, showing your beginning, like you can scroll all the way down to my page and see when I was like, I can't believe y'all was coming to me then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that work was not the best. But as it grew, I just believe, like, people see me grow. So social media is definitely helped me out in pretty much everything. Yeah. And then when they see me, they just love talking to me. You know, I just believe that, like, I like to listen when people talk. I don't really talk too much, so I like to listen. I think at the end of the day, when you come in for a self-care day, you just want to kind of talk and let the person listen, or you just want to sit in silence and relax. You know, a lot of shops got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just like, let's just keep it chill around here. Yeah. So I think once you step out of on faith, like I have tattooed faith over fear right here, and it's just like, as long as you step out, you got a plan. You can't just go all willy-nilly, but you got to have a slight plan and just stick to it. How you can reach me on Instagram is LocdNHealing, all one word. But I also have an amazing assistant who people just kind of forget about, and they try to come to me, and I'll just be at work so much. So I have an amazing assistant. If you find my website, it's on my LocdNHealing page, or you can Google Google me, LocdNHealing. Anything, you can find me on Yelp, Google, Instagram, TikTok. But my assistant's phone number is right on my website. So right when you go to the website, it'll say Assistant Ashley. Boom.